Is it Pratima Lama?
Yes, yes. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Good,
Prativa.
good noon.
How are
Good
you?
afternoon, sir. Good, sir. Thank you.
Prativa, can you introduce yourself to the panel?
Yes, sir. I'm Prativa. I originally come from Darjeeling, and where I grew up, I did my schooling there. And post that, I did my engineering and my MBA, and I worked in ITC Infotech for quite some time. And 2 years back, I left my job and started preparing full time for UPSC. I currently live in Bangalore with my sister and my 8-year-old dog. Uh, yes.
Good. Prativa, let me start. You worked for quite some time with ITC Infotech, if I'm correct.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you are BTech Computer Science Engineering, and then you have done your MBA from IIM Bangalore,
Yes,
if
sir.
I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
Right. So, why do you want to switch over your careers at this late stage?
Sir, actually, growing up, I used to read a lot of books. So it was one way in which, like, I could experience different things and go to different places, which was beyond my reach as a small child. So it was during that time I had actually come upon this book called Windmills of Our Mind, and there, like, the main protagonist was a diplomat, and I really liked how she was so courageous, and without using any aggressiveness, she kind of like uh, quickly used to outwit all those who wanted to harm her country. So that was very inspiring then. But obviously, while growing up, I kind of like opted for a more conventional career and did my engineering and my MBA, and went on a corporate job, and I was doing quite well, in fact. So, like, it was a great company. But however, deep down inside, I always felt something was missing, that I wanted to do something more. So I wanted to create an impact, and that was when, like, I wanted to go back to my childhood dreams, and then uh, go back and pursue it. So while that was the personal side to the story, I feel that like, for the Indian Foreign Service is plays an extremely critical role in shaping the future of our country and our position in the world today. So I want to be a part of that and contribute
Right.
to the growth of this country. Yes. Yes. Sir.
You know, climate change is an area which
Yes, sir.
concerns every nation,
Yes, sir.
and continuous negotiations are going on in the world
Yes.
in various
Yes, sir.
countries, multi-international fora.
Yes, sir.
What was the last conference held pertaining to climate change, and what were the major highlights of that conference?
Sir, the last climate change conference was COP29 at Baku in Azerbaijan. And two of the key outcomes that came out was that developed countries need to contribute almost $300 billion per year by 2035. And also, I think they kind of finalized the carbon trading mechanism under the Paris Agreement. So those were the two key outcomes.
We held G20 conference in India.
Yes, sir.
What was the major highlight? Can you tell me one major highlight of that conference?
Sir, one of the key takeaways from G20 was to come together, especially the 20 biggest economies of the world, to tackle the world's next big challenges, and especially the developing countries, and the addition of African Union was an important highlight of the conference, and that the developing world should come together for, like, solving bigger problems.
You are a computer graduate by qualification.
Yes, sir.
Now, nowadays, the Digital Personal Data Protection Act
Yes,
and
sir.
the rules which have been notified recently for consultation. They have not been notified, they have been prepared and circulated for inputs from various stakeholders. Which are the controversial points in those rules where a lot of debate is going on? And what is your take on that?
Some of the controversial points, one is that the Data Protection Authority is, because it is appointed by the government, it is perceived not to be independent. Another key thing is there are fears that there will be because there are no because the government can access a lot of the personal information, and there are no limitations on that. So there are critics who perceive that the people's data is not protected. So the users may suffer. So my personal take on it, sir, is that it is the rules are great because we need some kind of regulation, and at the same time it is not too restrictive like the GDPR of Europe. So it gives some kind of leeway to the companies so that they can innovate by using the data, and at the same time it gives protection to the users, because a lot of the user data right now is being misused. Like we often hear about these digital scammers who have our data, phone numbers, or other data. So it is important in order for the government to regulate that so that the people are protected.
Okay. Now you see, you are staying in Bangalore.
Yes, sir.
It started with South Indian states. The political parties started giving what is popularly called as freebies before the elections.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now it has spread all over, whether it is West Bengal or whether it is Delhi or it is Haryana, any state, every political party is announcing various schemes. I think are these freebies is a good thing for the state where elections are taking place, or they are bad? What is your personal opinion about it?
Yes, sir. There are a lot of freebies being given out, I think, in the states. So while it can give an immediate benefit to the people because they will have cash or goods in their hands, but in the long run, it is not good because it's not good because money in the hands of the people, it will just get, we don't know how it gets used up. So instead of that, we could focus on more long-term areas like skill development or education or healthcare. That would be a much better investment rather than immediate cash benefits or goods that people get.
Okay, thank you, Prativa. Over to
Thank you,
Mr.
sir.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, Prativa.
Good afternoon, sir.
You are from Darjeeling.
Yes.
So you have left Darjeeling since long, I suppose, but still you have connection.
So my parents still live there, so we have a house.
It's a very interesting place, right?
Yes, sir.
So means there was a long fight for autonomy there.
Yes, sir.
So there is an autonomous council now, no?
Yes, sir. There's the Gorkha Territorial Administration, which is taking care of the governance.
So how it is faring? How successful this experiment is?
Sir, this fight for autonomy is going on. I mean, it's still present right now too. So while they have got control on a lot of administrative areas like primary education and healthcare, tourism and all of these areas. But I think there is some kind of limitation in terms of how they are being used. So generally, the direction is still being set by the state, and and the schemes which come from the central government. So still people feel that more autonomy is needed.
Okay. So still the community is not empowered, you mean to say?
Yes, sir. It is not just in terms of empowerment. It is more, I think, people feel that a sense of that a separate state or a separate political unit is going to give them that sense of identity and belongingness that people feel they lack. So that is one area which is still missing. So that is what I think. GTA is unable to fulfill their aspirations in that way. So that is why the fight is still continuing.
Okay, you tell me there's a big tea estates in Darjeeling area and in Dwarj also, means what we call the Jalpaiguri area, right?
Yes, sir.
So there's a lot of exploitation of these workers.
Yes, sir.
The district magistrate of Darjeeling, or say Jalpaiguri, how will you address this problem of exploitation of these tea workers?
Sir, I think one of the key reasons is because they are very poor, and the difference between is the gap is too high. Generally, the tea estates are managed by corporates and corporates or individual firms and all that, and the people are too poor and they are uneducated and unaware of their rights. So even if there are labor regulations, I think there is a plantations regulation act under which they work. So people are unaware of the rights and the minimum standards that are to be followed. So that is one. That is why I think there is that gap. But still, at the same time, I feel like as the district magistrate, I think I should get all the stakeholders involved. I think the industry also, the tea estate industry also has to come in board and come up with a solution which is fair to the workers at the same time. And I think the workers also need to come on board so that the work is not stopped. Because the tea industry already has a lot of other problems in terms of markets and reducing profits and all of that. So I think if there is a all stakeholder kind of a solution, so that the workers are also not exploited, at the same time it is fair in terms of profits for the businessmen also.
Okay, tell me, many among those workers are migrants. And
yes,
some
sir.
have come there since long, means is the second or third generation people are there, right?
Yes, sir.
So what are the problems of these migrant workers specifically?
One key problem is that in terms of their residencies, so the tea estate, generally they live on the tea estates. So I think there is a certain area allocated to them to live. So that is too small in terms of like any kind of other alternative, like for example agriculture or certain other alternative supplementary occupations or something they cannot do. So they just have to entirely depend upon the tea estate for everything. So that is why I think that they suffer majorly from exploitation. So.
But there are also issues of malnutrition and public health issues are also there. You haven't mentioned those. They are very serious.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because social security is very low there, sir. Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah, social security is one part, but otherwise means the public health issue is a rare issue, very real issue, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Suffer from, especially I suppose, tuberculosis.
Yes, tuberculosis is a big issue in generally the mountain areas. Yes, yes, I agree.
How do you address that issue? Because that is a very serious issue. It's related
I'm sorry, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir, I'm sorry. It skipped my mind.
Okay, thank you so much, Prativa. When is your interview?
Thank you, sir. Sir, 20th of February.
Okay, thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Prativa, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, so now tell me, as a lady, do you think that our country has really achieved gender equality, or do you still feel that there is gender bias and we have a long way to go?
Sir, as a country, we still have a long way to go. There is a significant gender gap that we need to address, and it is while the numbers are there, but I feel it is at a very at a day-to-day level of experience in which that inequality is experienced. So that is still significant, and we need to address that, like. In the public environment, whenever a woman steps out of her home, right from her workplace to her education, all of these public areas. So we need to make it more safe and more secure. So that is one area which is which is beyond the numbers, actually speaking. It is an everyday experience for almost all of the women in India. But at the same time, sir, we have done a lot of work on it, and we need to still do more, I feel.
Okay, so now in the hilly areas, mostly people set up these hill cooperatives selling handcrafted woolen items or so. Recently in Uttarakhand, I saw a brand called Kilmora.
Okay.
Very good products. Now you are a marketing strategist. Suppose I ask you to prepare a marketing strategy for this brand, Kilmora. How will you do it? Because it's really good and it's handmade and it helps the village women.
Okay. So one of the key things that actually there is a gap right now in handloom products or such handcrafted products is that people lack awareness, and we need to form a direct connect to the consumer. So one of the key things that I would suggest is to have a digital presence online, have a website which will directly connect to the consumer and connect to the people who actually make these handcrafted items as well. And so both I mean, like, the consumers also are aware, and the people, the weavers and whoever is making them, also get a fair remuneration, because we are making it closer. We're bringing them closer. So yes, sir.
Okay. So tell me, have you heard of this concept of Sanskritization?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In this area where you live, can you recall this in action? Some community where it has happened?
Sir, Sanskritization I have not seen personally in Darjeeling. But one thing is there right now, which is being seen is re-tribalization, sir. Like a lot of the other communities want to assert their tribal identities. So that is being seen in
it
the
is
region.
Actually happening in the reverse direction, that people are getting proud of their own identities, and they say, hey, I'm happy that I'm a tribal.
Yes.
Okay, good. So tell me, you write short stories.
Yes, sir.
You write in English, Hindi?
Yes, sir. So English.
English, okay. Tell me the gist of one short story you last wrote.
Oh, sir, I wrote about a story from the perspective of my dog. So so it is said I generally write stories from back home, and which evokes memories from my parents and what they have told us when we were small. So I wrote it from the perspective of my dog. So how he gets adopted by a small girl while walking home, and she goes home, and her dad is not too happy to see the dog. Again, you got another. Keep picking up stray animals, don't get them. And then he starts talking about this leopard attack near another village. So while that conversation is happening, the girl comes out of the house, and she starts picking the firewood for the kitchen. And that's when like she sees actually a leopard, and the dog. It's a small puppy, so he tries to jump in front of the leopard and tries to protect her. So in that all that melee, so the father and the mother also gets to know that there's a leopard. So she throws a firewood at the leopard, but the leopard runs away, but the firewood strikes the ear of the dog, and he loses his ear. So that's so we named it Kane. Kane is 1 year, so 1 year dog. So that's the story. So.
Have you heard of this phrase? Love me, love my dog?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, so now one last question. What is the
Yes,
latest on Israel-Hamas ceasefire agreement? Possible?
Yes, sir. Yesterday, I think they were talking about finalizing an agreement on release of the hostages and getting a or getting a 6-week ceasefire, and then discussing a longer solution in the long run. But today, I think I read it in the paper that again Israel is pointing out that Hamas has gone back on some deal. So, but probably we are looking at a quick solution because of the change in the administration in US. So hopefully we'll get a solution to that soon.
Okay, thank you, Prativa.
Thank you, sir.
Over to my co-panelists.
Prativa,
Hello,
you
sir.
have a very unique system. One paper you give in Nepalese.
So I didn't understand. Oh, in school, sir, you mean?
No, you have given a paper in Nepalese language.
In UPSC, no, sir.
Okay.
So I've
I
given
may
in
have
English only.
misunderstood. Okay.
Yeah, it's alright.
The agony and pain of tea leaf collectors have been well explained by you. But you have missed their grievances. What are their grievances? Long-term grievances. I remember any election comes,
Mm-hmm.
every
Yes.
political party says that we will do this, and nothing has happened so far in last 50 years. Or if something has happened, it's very too little, too late. If you are a district magistrate of Darjeeling, your own town,
Yes. Yes.
what you will do to protect these leaf farmers, leaf collectors?
Tea workers.
Yeah.
Yes. Sir, one of the key things is that their incomes are not substantial. It is just too less.
Lama?
I think it is even.
Ma'am, take a second.
Yes, sir.
Formulate
Yes.
your ideas, then speak.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Let me give you a hint. 11
Yes.
demands are pending of tea collectors. Can you solve it? There is a charter of demand they give to every political party and administration. If you
Okay.
don't recollect, forget it. What is the
Sir,
CSR?
I cannot. I'm sorry, I cannot recollect the demands of
I
the
can see
collector.
your face, and I can see your face. So, what is the CSR?
So CSR, yes,
Company Social Security
yes,
responsibility.
yes, corporate social responsibility is consists of the activities that a company does to give back to society, and generally it can take the forms of education or skilling, or even healthcare. So, like for example, ITC has a corporate social responsibility group where they contribute to floods and disaster victims, and also contribute to education, and even the paper craft, the copies that we buy. So a certain percentage of it goes to the poor students for their education.
Okay. Okay. If the finance minister asks you, a group of you, to give her suggestions on the coming budget for the welfare of the women, what will be your priority for women welfare?
Okay. So one of the key things I think we can do is for safety of women. So we can put in, I think we do have a call, a toll-free number, and that for reporting any kind of harassment or any kind of crimes against women. So we can, I think, focus more on making the public spaces more secure for women, installing more CCTV cameras, and having a dedicated perhaps like a task force to handle cases specifically for women. So we can do that.
So you will ask for the budget allocation for these schemes?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Will you not ask for more concessions in taxes for the women, particularly many things which women use, cosmetics and personal hygiene items?
Yes, sir. So those are also important. Yes, sir.
That's very important.
Yes,
for a
sir.
school girl and a college girl, that is more important, and their parents.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
It's a wonderful. I compliment you, write short stories. Why don't you write these stories on your mother tongue? It's in Nepalese, and
Yes, sir.
Nepal doesn't have a very strong literature sensitivity.
Yes, sir. I would have loved to write on Nepalese, but on Nepali language. But I'm afraid my grammar and my command over the language is not too high, because I stopped after school. So yes.
Okay. No, your mother can correct it. Don't worry.
Yes, sir. So I would love to in future.
Okay. Your father retired from West Bengal SEB. It's a state electricity board or a state education board?
The State Electricity Board.
Okay. What are the problems in state electricity board?
Sir, one of the a few of the key problems there are massive losses, like because electricity, there's a lot of I would say, I'm not getting the right word, sorry, sir, but there's a lot of debt that the distribution companies have, and they suffer from distribution. Second thing is they suffer from distribution losses, ATC losses, I think. And third thing is that it is priced too low, the electricity. So obviously so that people can access, but I think it is leads to losses to the distribution companies.
Okay. How you can define in 3 sentences sustainable fashion?
So sustainable fashion is one, has to be more environmentally friendly. Second thing, it has to be more fair labor practices has to be there, and at the same time it has to be economically viable, and more favorable to everybody in the to all the stakeholders in this industry. So my knowledge of sustainable fashion is because I help my sister. So she's one of the renowned artisanal fashion designers in India, and so she's been working on zero waste design and handloom textiles. So that is how my interest in this area has developed, sir.
Okay. If you are an ambassador to Nepal,
Yes, sir.
how you will ease out our problems like fencing? They are asking for a new map of the Nepal, and there are little pinpricks to India. How you can do it? This is my last question.
Okay. Yes, sir. Sir, India-Nepal relations have always been very strong. The roti biti ka rishta, and some of the key issues that you have pointed out. They are like I feel they are more connected to the domestic political environment, and sorry, sir.
No worry. Since you love the dogs, some dogs are there. Don't worry.
Okay. Sorry, sir. So these issues can be ironed out. In the long term, I see a very good relationship. While there are irritants, we can actually focus on removing them. And in the long run, like a couple of things we need to do is one is I think we have our Indo-Nepal Friendship Treaty, which was signed in 1950. So since then, a lot of things have happened. Both countries have grown. So we can relook at how we can again mutually benefit each other. And second thing is we have a huge connect because of our security engagement with Nepal. The Gorkha regiment is like the Gorkhas from Nepal have joined the Gorkha regiment, and we have a strong community of ex-army servicemen there. So we can utilize that community to get a stronger bonding with India. So those are two things I think we can do with Nepal.
Okay. Mr. Kolar, can you take over?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Ayush?
Prativa, your optional is sociology, right?
Yes.
So I want to start with a quote, and you
Okay.
tell me whether you agree with that quote or disagree with that quote. The quote is,
Yes.
prejudice cannot be legislated away. Prejudice cannot be legislated away. Do you agree or disagree with this quote? And why?
I'll agree with your quote. Prejudice cannot be legislated away because it is something that comes from society, and the society has to work together to remove that prejudice. So generally, prejudice is when you start feeling that the other person is there, the other community. So there is that us versus them kind of a situation. So we need to remove that, and I think like I can recall a renowned sociologist Andre Bate, who said that law can just give a direction to where the society is heading. So we need to have society to actually take us there.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
talking about laws, do you believe that certain laws which prescribe reservation for locals in private jobs? You must have seen many states have come up with legislations for giving reservation in private jobs, and in the courts also they have been contested, largely contested. How far do you agree
Yes, sir.
with this process of reserving private jobs for locals? What do you see are the advantages as well as disadvantages? Just tell me what is your belief from a sociological perspective.
This demand for reservation in the private sector, I feel is because one of the things that people see, especially the localites, they see a huge inequality, and they kind of like they perceive that the outsiders are coming and taking most of the opportunities in that particular place. So I think that that is one of the reasons that they all want such a popular demand. But at the same time, I do not agree with it, because in the long run, it is not good for businesses, because then it disincentivizes them to hire the most meritorious. So instead of that, what they can propose is have better skilling, or like better help them develop the skills, and so that they can go and capture these opportunities. Yes, the jobs are there, but that because probably they have not had that right skills set, that's why they are not able to take benefit of that, and they feel that the outsiders are coming and taking that. So it is a concern, I think, seen across India. So if we, I think, instead of giving benefits in terms of reservation, so which is actually violating the freedoms of the companies as well. It is better to have a better skilling, better kind of programs and courses, such as internships or something like that, which can help the local youth capture these opportunities which are there.
So Pratima, you are in Bangalore, right? Based in Bengaluru.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
in Bengaluru, there have been multiple issues regarding language or the use of particular language. Now,
Yes, sir.
suppose if you are a district magistrate or district collector, so to speak,
Yes, sir.
what is your perspective on how to solve this issue between local and the people who come to work in Bengaluru? So you must have seen a lot of, at least we
Yes,
see
sir.
from outside. I don't know what exactly the situation is, that you can tell us better. So what is your perspective on that?
Sir, what I have seen personally is that, because Bangalore is a very like a cosmopolitan hub, there's too many people from outside coming in, and we hardly actually speak or acknowledge Kannada. In fact, like I regret to admit that even I am not so conversant in Kannada. So people, I think the locals feel that like we are being left out. In fact, in my class in Bangalore, like there was only one person out of the entire 70 people from Karnataka. So that is why I think that they feel that their culture is like, they feel that urge to protect their culture. So instead of having like probably like enforcing that we need to have a compulsory language or something like that, probably they can have more like they can encourage more people to speak or adopt that language, so that and show the benefits instead of like forcing it down on anybody. So that is a better move, I feel.
I think we are done, right? Vasan sir?
Pratima,
Yes, sir.
you're a good candidate, but my advice would be that try to be precise in your answers.
Okay. Yes, sir.
You may be knowing more things than asked for, so there is a temptation to tell more than what is asked for. So be precise.
Okay. Yes,
And
sir.
your interview is on which date?
So 20th of February.
20th of February. So hardly a month go.
Yes, sir.
So now, before your interview, budget would have been presented. So read about the budget. Be aware
Yes,
of
sir.
the Indian economy, its growth, its impediments. Since you have worked in an IT company and you are an MBA, so there are bound to be questions on artificial intelligence, its role, its regulation,
Yes.
the role AI can play in the administration, in improving the administration. Similarly, on Data Protection Act, by the time maybe the rules are notified. So
Yes, sir.
you did tell me when I asked you, but still you need to be aware of what is happening. And also read something about, you should know about your state, that is West Bengal.
Yes.
The problems of Bangalore city. There might be some hypothetical question that you are a district magistrate of Bangalore. So in order to improve the traffic condition in Bangalore? What steps can be taken? So there could be questions on that. Since foreign service is your first choice, so there will be questions on India's relations with its neighbors, especially now we have problems with Bangladesh, which earlier was not there.
Yes, sir.
Problems with Pakistan, problems with Sri Lanka, the China trying to find its hold in these countries.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, India's relation with the major powers and the role of America, especially when the Trump will take over, what the changes will come, because
Yes,
you are surprised. There could be questions. And then on the hobbies which you have mentioned, there could be. You are taking too many pauses, I think. So, maybe
Okay.
it's habit which has come. Try to cut down if you can, and that you can
Okay.
achieve by practicing before
Yes.
the mirror, so that you
Okay.
speak precisely and without many pauses.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Thank you. So I wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Kulwan.
Prativa,
Yes, sir.
you are a good candidate. But you are coming from a very unique area, right?
Yes, sir.
You should know more about at least your area and problems. Especially
Okay.
T-industry is very important because there are many problems.
Yes.
And, migrant workers, including language issue also there in
Yes.
generally northern Bengal and also in this Dwas and hill areas. Okay,
Yes.
you have
Yes,
to
sir.
follow with those issues because many questions may come up during your interview about this area. About this
Yes, sir.
long fight for autonomy, and then naturally, as I asked, what are the benefits of such arrangement? Okay, so otherwise, I think you are good, and your knowledge
Okay.
base is also good. The only thing your body language sometimes give way when you don't know something, na, then it really means one can gauge that you are means trying to think hard or kind of. So try to maintain your composure, right? If
Okay. Yes, sir.
immediately say no, I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, don't
Yes, sir.
go for speculative kind of answer. Okay, so all
Yes,
the
sir.
best into. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Prativa. Hello, Prativa.
Yes, sir.
Can
Yes,
you hear
sir.
me?
Hello.
Okay.
Yes,
I have
can
only
hear
one course correction to make,
Yes.
and that is to help you get to your dream.
Yes,
See,
sir.
your communication is being punctuated by a lot of and which has come into your subconscious while you're speaking, because you're thinking and
Yes.
speaking. So kindly listen to this video, and if you can improve on that and remove that unnecessary punctuation, make a fluent
Okay.
sentence, your communication
Yes.
will be direct and much more appreciated. Okay?
Okay.
Good
Okay.
luck.
Thank
and
you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes,
We
sir.
hope to see you there.
Thank you, sir.
Well, you have a unique parentage
Yes.
and you come up from an area which is very unique, and
Yes,
its problems are very unique.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you one point. Sandeep asked for the short stories, gist,
Yes. Yes, sir.
and you told him the whole story.
Yes, sir.
Gist is gist. Then I asked you about suggestion to finance minister on budget for women. You were trying to kick the bush. Finance minister gives allocation only.
Mm.
So word allocation of funds was missing at all. Thirdly,
Okay.
you hardly knew about CSR. Again, you was jumping from this area. No. There is a specific areas where CSR can be used by the company. 5-6 points are there. I have written what Sandeep said. Grammatic, you know much better. Your body language sometimes give you long pauses.
Okay.
Sometimes you get, once you were telling story, you was excited.
Yes, sir.
Take it.
Yes, sir.
Your reply should be crisp, to the point, and very specific. Then wait for another question.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Then one point I have written. You easily go astray
Okay.
from a question, from an answer. You are again going in a circle. If you don't know, say no. I don't remember. I don't know.
Okay. Yes.
This is one of the basics, and my suggestion will be sit before a mirror, or your mother, or your family members, or your friends. Try to learn, get a video of this, and ask people to evaluate you. And come for a mock interview fully dressed when you are about to, as if you are giving a original interview. Good
Okay.
luck. You are a bright
Thank you,
person,
sir.
and we need people like you who knows the
Thank you, sir.
problems of a specific area. So over to Mr. Khuller.
Okay. Prativa, so the thing is that you come from IIM Bangalore.
Yes, sir.
You understand the problem?
Yes, sir.
You'll be compared to everybody else from IIM Bangalore.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So we have to outperform in the interview. When you go in the interview with such a background, they expect a lot. So
Yes, sir.
like another candidate will be treated a lot more, with, okay, it's, they'll give you the benefit of doubt that you can be trained, all that arguments can be given, right?
Yes, sir.
Those arguments don't hold for you.
Yes, sir.
So you need a interview which is perfect.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So be fluent in every answer. Prepare every expected question.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So like the short story question, or the question on the Nepalese, right, descent, or it could go to India, Bangladesh, right? Considering you're from
Yes, sir.
West Bengal. Then remember, they are checking how you will think under pressure, right? So how does Prativa think when she doesn't know something? Is she
Yes.
eager to answer, or is she comfortable skipping to the next question?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay, you have to be very comfortable skipping to a different area. Clear on this?
Yes.
Okay, we have enough areas to talk about in our resume or in our DAF. They'll just shift to another area.
Okay.
So be
Yes.
comfortable shifting.
Okay.
Okay, right? And you're very, very pleasant, right? So that goes in your favor. At least initially in the interview, it will go in your favor, right? Later on, we'll have to back it up, right?
Yes.
We have to be very fluent, very logical about what we are speaking in the interview. Okay,
Yes.
because the expectations are high. Remember this, the expectations are high. There'll be some other person by 20th Feb who's from IIM Bangalore, and you know your juniors and classmates, right? How they are.
Yeah.
So that's all. Anything to add?
Yes.
Thank you, Prativa.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.